as he started to go down, he cried out the shortest sinner's prayer in the Bible, "Save me, Lord." 3 simple words. And Jesus, it says, he immediately reached out his hand to rescue him. I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and he heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and the mire. You know, I was just walking in the hallways and I saw your mission trip that you guys did, medical missions to Uganda. And it reminded me of the last time we were there. I have goosebumps just thinking about it. Sure, we ministered in a bunch of different festivals and events and outdoor outreaches, but I'll never forget visiting an orphanage. And we got to meet this precious little girl named Esther. And she was very small, like premature small. And they said she has a very special story. I said, "What is it?" They said, "Well, her mother left her in a latrine." Now, I don't know if you guys have had the pleasure of using outdoor outhouse facilities in Africa, but latrine isn't quite described what it is. It's a hole in the ground that goes down 30 feet that is full of, you know what? Somebody went to go number whatever, 1 or 2, and heard a baby crying and an echo. And they kept hearing it when they shut the door and realized this is happening below me. And it took hours. It took the whole village to rescue this precious little crying baby from feces, to pick the maggots off of her face. I'm sorry to sound disgusting, guys, but this is true. When you rescue a little girl like that, what do you do? What's the first thing you do? You wash them off, you hug them, you tell them they're loved, you give them new clothing, and you show them love like nobody else. Did you show the picture? Did you have the picture? You're looking for it? Okay. That's all God wants to do with you. It doesn't matter what kind of mess you're floating in. It doesn't matter whether you're ankle deep or whether you're nose deep, or you're just straight up in the deep. Doesn't matter where you come from. Doesn't matter what you've done. Doesn't matter what's been done to you. There's no pit so deep that God is not deeper still. Amen? For me, it started with trying to fit in with the older kids. At 9 years old, by drinking beer, didn't like the taste, but I pretended like I did. Didn't like this first cigarette I smoked, but I coughed and pretended like I liked it. Wanted to be cool. And then by 10, I'm buying weed from my neighbor. By 13, it's cocaine. Then crack, LSD. Whatever I could use, crystal meth, drugs were using me. Drugs were abusing me. The phrase is true though, I got so wasted. My life was wasted. It was being flushed down a toilet. He pulled me out of a sewage pit.
Thank you, Lord.
There she is. Look at this precious little girl. Look at her. That's Esther. Now, we didn't plan that. There just happened to be a rainbow right behind her head on the wall. How can you look at that precious little girl and not say you're loved? You are loved just the same. When I see that girl, I don't see where she came from. I see the next Prime Minister of Uganda.
Yes, Lord.
I see someone with hope, someone with a future, someone with promise. And that's the same thing God sees when He sees you. He has a plan for you that's so much better than the script that you're trying to piece together for your life. He set my feet on a rock. He gave me a firm place to stand. I was just days away from being 18 years old, about ready to run away for good. I did run away. I ran away for a whole summer, lived on the streets. lived in an abandoned house with drug addicts. But this prodigal finally came home. You see, I was raised in the church, but I strayed from the church, and I thank God that my mom and dad prayed from the church, because God hears prayers. And He'll hear your prayer tonight. He gave me a firm place to stand. He put a new song in my mouth. I'm 17 years old, having a quiet time with God, and I got this melody. And I go up to the bass player of the worship team, and I'm like, you think you guys can try reggae? He's like, we could try, I guess. I wouldn't really call it reggae, more like ragu. But then he looked at me and said, so you're not a Rastafarian anymore, you're a Christafarian. And I love this. You put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise. If God gives you an idea, it should be to glorify you? No. Him. Listen, guys. You are God's workmanship. Created to do good works in Christ Jesus. You know, workmanship in Greek is poema. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound like another word? Poem. You're God's song, God's poem. He's writing a story about you. He's got a plan for you. It's beautiful. And it's to give Him glory. And it says, a hymn of praise to our God in Psalm 40, verse 3. And the end result is, many will see and fear the Lord and put their trust in Him. And that is why we do what we do. I'm not ashamed of Jesus. Are you ashamed? I love how he says, he continues to say, look at this. Just listen to this. If anybody says, well, I'm just going to live a positive life, and that's going to be light enough, right? I know we preach the gospel using words when necessary, but we still got to use words. Here it is. Psalm 40, verse 9. I proclaim your saving acts in the great assembly. That's what He will do. He will proclaim. He says what He won't do. I do not seal my lips, O Lord, as you know. I do not hide your righteousness in my heart. I speak of your faithfulness and your saving help. I do not conceal your love and your faithfulness from the great assembly. And nor can I, because I'm not ashamed of the gospel. Are you ashamed? Why don't you stand to your feet and say, I'm not ashamed.